here in solidarity. Ladies and gentlemen, the party, strong party, the party of the moment, the party that has taken over the leadership of this country. Permit me to introduce and welcome the National Secretary of the Labour Party, Alhaji Faruk Ibrahim, who has just recovered from a surgery. You can see him. Thank you very much for coming, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the indefatigable chairman of the Labour Party, a gentleman par excellence, somebody who has midwifed the activities of the Labour Party to this present situation. He has created an earthquake, and which is still resonating in the continent of Africa and around the world at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the national chairman of the Labour Party, Barrister Julius Aburi. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I know we have a very senior members who have been in the press and those who have been supporting our movement. Most of us are here because we want to rediscover and regain Nigeria. For the extent of the realm, every one of you, you are very, very important. We've been with you for a very long time. I want to welcome you once again. Some of us who have been in the media, Nana Kazori is here, he's seated here, ladies and gentlemen. We have Emeka, he's also seated here. We have a contestant from Edo State who is now doubling as an essay to the senator of Ireti, Mr. Chris, right? Yes, please welcome Mr. Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. His Excellency will just join us very soon. And of course, our head of media, Chief Dr. Jiron Onifadi, please, a round of applause for him. Please, if I missed anybody, please don't find time to remind me so that I can recognize you, so it's not deliberate. I thank you very much for listening. And let's a chairman. Okay, Mr. Chooks, okay, is here. Thank you very much, sir. So His Excellency will just walk in now, and then we'll commence the press conference. Thank you very much. Yeah. Where? Okay. Please, His Excellency is just walking in. Please, if you don't mind, please, you can put your phone on silent. He's been led in by Chief Ozeleka, the campaign manager of the PCC. You are welcome, sir. Sir.
Yes, no, he's blocking this thing, the view. It's making it shadow.
It's okay. Bring it down. Is it okay? It's okay like this. Just control. Yes. I already have some. Peter. Let me just sorry. Like this. Okay. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce the highest legends contender for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Peter Gregory Obi, His Excellency.
Good morning, everybody. Our party chairman, our DG, and all the stakeholders of our party present, gentlemen of the press. Good morning. This is a press conference. Having followed a prolonged identity crisis that recently played out in the American court system and the controversy surrounding the authenticity of the Chicago State University credentials of Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I must confess I'm distressed as a Nigerian. In addition to the badge of media figure at home and abroad, I have had the wholesome burden of responding to embarrassing questions about the Nigerian overall credibility as a nation to privileged audience and individuals, both at home and abroad in different parts of the world I've traveled recently. To the outsiders, the entire Chicago University matter, as well as Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu's many other linked identity question marks, have further worsened Nigerian less than glorious image internationally. uninformed outsiders now see every Nigerian as a fraudster, certificate forger, or identity thief. The controversy is unnecessary, just as the implicit global embarrassment would have been avoided. In my opinion, Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu should have saved the nation and himself this protracted embarrassment and undue anxiety. Even in this late in the day, however, Chief Ahmed Bola Tinubu still owes the nation and the world a simple set of obligations only he can discharge. I therefore respectfully and humbly call on him to immediately and personally mount the rostrum of his present high office to perform a simple task once and for all time. He should reintroduce himself to the nation he governs and to the world for avoidance of further doubt. He should let the world know his name, his nationality, his place of birth, his parentage, the primary and secondary school he attended with dates, as well as the actual universities he attended and certificates obtained. He should indicate clearly where and when he did his national youth service. In addition, if at any time he had had a change of name, he should state so clearly and circumstance. That is itself is no crime. This is a simple task that will take only a few minutes. It requires no affidavit, prolonged court process, spokesperson, agents, or surrogates. The task is one that only Chief Bola Tinubu himself, through a direct personal statement, can perform. He must perform this task urgently in order to lay to rest once and for the last time the many lingering doubts and valid speculation about his true identity. A leader cannot source a clear, unambiguous personal statement about his identity to political surrogates, official spokespeople, lawyers, or any other person, no matter how highly placed. A matter of personal identity of a leader is too sensitive and central to the function of the office he currently occupies to be trifled with, outsourced, or disguised under the cloak of officialdom. It is about integrity, morality, values, and the rule of law that defines the character of a nation and its people. In his present capacity as a leader of a nation of over 200 million Nigerians, his true identity is a matter of great national and international interest. The people deserve to know with certainty the true identity of their leader, and this overrides whatever rights he may have to personal privacy. In addition, the international community deserves to know the true identity of the person with whom they will engage on Nigeria. Having stood for an election of elevated office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Bola Tinubu have implicitly undertaken to cede the rights of private citizens in favor of life of open disclosure of his true identity and other circumstances that might be of public interest. His personal integrity demands no less. The legitimacy of the office he currently occupies demands that much and even more. Respect for the integrity and esteem of the Nigerian nation within the Committee of Nations makes it even more incumbent and compulsory. It is time to do the right thing. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. The Excellency will entertain 5 questions. Please. Thank you, tell us your name and your family. No, just stay here. No. Microphone. Okay.
Okay, sir. Your Excellency, sir, my name is Mrs. Georgina from Radio Nigeria. He just called on the president to reintroduce himself to Nigeria, the people he governed, by coming out clean. What would be your take if he rejects your call?
Well, it is no longer, is no longer in position to do that because he's chosen to serve. And when you choose a particular office, you must do certain things. It's an obligation that you cannot cede or refuse to, because you could see the crisis we're going through.
Thank you. Yes, this is the first.
Right.
My name is from comments can you say to somebody one last week the PDP president called on you and called on join you.
I will not just start by giving you my academic record. I will start by introducing myself to you. My name, given name at birth by my parents, is Peter Omubasi Obi. That was what my parents gave me at birth. I don't answer my Igbo name because some of you might not know. What it means is that I cannot die. So I choose not to answer it. I don't know why my father gave me that name, but that's my name. My name is Peter Omubasi Obi. And because I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian. Our confirmation, my confirmation name was Gregory. I love the name Gregory. Great. So you will see me write always Peter Gregory Obi. I studied my primary school in Santa Maria, Onitsha, before the war. After the war, we came back. I went to a primary school called Holy Trinity, Onitsha. I was there for a few years when my auntie, who was a principal at a place called Umuoba, Anam Primary School, took me because she wanted to live with me. So I stayed there. From there, I passed common entrance to go into Christ the King College. I was in Christ the King College from September 1973 till 1978. I then went to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, from 1980 to 1984. Read philosophy. I had a BA, second class in philosophy. Thereafter, I've been to so many other institutions for training, which I will show you my CV before you leave now. I'll make sure I have it circulated, and I can claim to be an alumnus of some of those schools that I went for training, among which include Lagos Business School, Kellogg Graduate School, Oxford University, State Business School in Oxford, Cambridge, George Business School, and in Switzerland. There's so many other places that I've gone for training, from INSEAD in France, Columbia in New York, and all that. So these are no longer private to me. Everything I read or any thing I did, programs I participated, are documented. When I give you my CV, whenever I write any, I'll show you what I did there, and I'm open for verification. It's no longer a private thing. It must be verified.
Thank you.
On the issue of whether, on the invitation of the PDP presidential candidate, let me retrace again. Whenever there's an issue of national interest, I'm involved in it, invited or uninvited, because about our country.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Your Excellency, my name is Friday, and I'm a reporter with Channels TV. I would like to ask you just one question, since my senior colleague has taken me.
I would delete every app on my phone for this.
That call from the PDP presidential candidate. My second question, which I'm asking now, has to do with what the PDP candidate has in his hand. I've not seen it. That's why I'm mentioning. I'm using my words carefully. The certificates that he said his lawyer have been able to get. That has generated this conversation. Of what use is it to your own case? Because we would like to know if you also pleaded among the prayer in the court is included the certificate forgery that the presidential candidate of the PDP is pursuing. So of what use is what they have now? What use it is in your fight to secure your mandate?
I don't make comments on issues that are before the court. Everybody knows that. However, where we are is beyond the court. What we're talking about today is actually a challenge and a crisis to the soul of our nation, to our existence. People who are asking this question that you have to answer everywhere, it's not. And this is not a political matter. I want people to understand. It is no longer politics. I've said it over and over again. It is not about whether people went to school or didn't go to school. We have leaders all over the world. I mentioned several. They did not have formal education. The most quoted American president didn't go through formal education. And he's highly respected. Lincoln. And in UK, it was a similar thing with Churchill. He was not a good student in school. And I can go on and on. People who have rich background who didn't have opportunity of going to school. And if you recall during Clinton's problem, our respected former president of America, Jimmy Carter, said, it is not about party, it's not about where you are or what you belong and for politics, but if American president have been involved in what they consider pledge, it's a difficult thing. We have a situation where we're now faced with credibility, values, and foundation of our nation. And I think I'm calling on all those that used to speak out to come out and speak out. In this country, people questioned Jonathan's PhD. Somebody said PhD is in zoology is not for presidency. Where are the people now? We want them to come out now. So that's why I said respectfully, I'm pleading that this issue be attended to.
Thank you, Rami.
Your Excellency, good morning. Yeah, Abaya Makiwala is my name. I report for Wazobia, Nigeria. You just gave us your rich CV. Did you submit this certificate to INEC? If no, why? Are you scared of anything? That is one. Secondly, this issue of certificate saga, I think it should have all this, everything like this should have been done before the election itself. Don't you think it's high time we look into our electoral process? And Atiku is having his own, we're talking about Tinubu now and others. So don't you think our electoral process needs to be looked into before election, all this should have been settled? Thank you.
Thank you very much. About submission, I will say it again. If you look at what I submitted to INEC, I submitted up to my university degree, including my youth service, and I attached the other one. The other, quite frankly, the only thing that you require is primary and secondary school. But I attached up to university. And like I said, I went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka. It's not very far. In fact, if you go there today, the present VC, which is the first VC that is an alumnus of the university, the two DVCs are all my mates. We came in together, left together. And I can say to you so many people that I came to university together and left together. Soludo, with the Mefele, I can call all of them. And if you went to Nsukka at the time I was there, I'm one of the very few students everybody knows. And I say it without anything. So you can go and verify that one. If you pass through Christ the King College, you will know me. And my final years, I was at least the deputy school discipline prefect. And I'm sure people know me. You know? So it's not a problem. In issue of what you said, the second question, it is fundamental. That is part of building the institution. But it has to start by having leaders who are credible. Everything starts with the credibility of the leader. The character, the behavior. These are critical issues. That's why I say this goes to the soul of our nation. It is not politics. It is an appeal.
Thank you, sir.
Last question.
Are we asking the next briefing, not this one?
Okay,
there's one.
Okay, there's one.
Okay,
Sorry.
Excellency, my name is Oge, making a report for AIT. What I need to add to the question that my colleague asked is, what value do you want the president to announce to the world about his name? A lot of statements have been made by the presidency before the press. Thank you.
What I just did now. It's just very simple. I said it should not be, remember what I said? It should not be a source. It should be him.
Man, you use the map.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Distinguished gentlemen. Sir, I have a question for
Just one, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so my name is Sunday Isra. I write for leadership. Now, INEC displayed the credentials of all the candidates that participated in the elections. Why were you people not interested about investigating these credentials until now? And the second question is, Section 29, Section 5 of the Electoral Act states clearly how issues of pre-election matters should be challenged in court, and the parties that should challenge these issues. Why are you raising these issues now?
I'm not in court now. I said I don't get involved with the issue of court. And let me say it again. This is a critical issue. It does not matter when the issue came up. It still remains the same thing. Ben Johnson ran a great race and is a respected athlete. But on that one last race, he's already got in the gold and went home when they discovered that his tested person is duped. They didn't say, oh, you would have known that before Ben Johnson ran the race. But they do the test before he went to test. So it doesn't matter when. There's no particular time to do what is right. This is the time to do what is right. And we must. We have a nation. We have children. A young girl who said he was the best in exam, they didn't dictate him before he said it. Well, when he said it, the people started investigating. dating. And when they found out, Nigeria, what did you tell that young girl? So said to him, to her, it wasn't dictated before it came out. No. This is an issue that is of great concern to the soul of our nation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. So it's certainly gotten a lot more interesting within the political landscape. We thought the elections were over, and we thought we were dealing with governance. So that's what we thought. But other people think differently. So the different thoughts now coming into play. So that was Peter Obi. Of course, a lot of things noted and noticeable in that press conference. So just make sure you're available for tonight, because of course the whole of tonight's session is going to be wrapped around this. So make sure you're available for tonight. And before we get to tonight's session, if you want to rewatch this, it's going to sit on the thing as a. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's certain things that popped out of that press conference. It's so obviously popping out. So I didn't even have to take notes, or I didn't even have to pay a special attention for those things to pop out. So they popped out. So now we convene for the usual time, and then we're going to unpick this in every single detail. So I go to I will watch it back as well, of course, and I will encourage you all to do that as well. So that is Peter. He told us what his Igbo name is now. He's presenting his CV, and all of this preening and peacocking and posturing suddenly. I'm not quite sure. Is the election over, or have they moved it to February next year? Because it looks as though we're still very much campaigning for an election. Of course, I mean, I don't know, but it's going to go wild before it settles down. I think we all know that it's going to go wild. We thought we had plateaued, but apparently we have not reached the peak yet. So it's still peaking, and it's going to go wild before it starts to calm down. So what does all this mean? Is this posturing? Is there any real pressure on the Aso Rock space, or is this just the last throes and the last throes of a space that finds the law so bitter that they're unwilling to accept it? So it's always a bitter taste, of course. You see, there's so many ways to lose. Somebody that loses in a competition and they graciously congratulate the winner, they're still as embittered within them as somebody that just storms away and throws tantrums. So it's just about how you want to present yourself. So we've seen Peter Obi's presentation. We already know who Atiku Abubakar is. So the field's still in play. But what does this all mean? Make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you're dialed in. So I'm going to be posting up the thumbnail for tonight's session shortly, within the next hour or so. So make sure you're dialed in for tonight's session, because of course a lot of the conversation is going to wrap around this. If Babati, if you want to come on just to say a few words, tell me, then I'll send the link. I'll only take your voice, but if you don't say it now, then I'm going to shut it down within the next 3 minutes or so. So that was Peter Obi telling us that he went to Christ the Apostolic Church and XYZ and ABC. He told us actually that he submitted his credentials all the way to his university degree to INEC. But as far as we know, he only submitted up to school cert. So did he? So this link here only for Babati. Then I'll just take just a comment or so from him, and then we'll wrap it up and reconvene for tomorrow. I mean, it's a madness that is going on at the moment, a real madness. I mean, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We're in October now. So the election was 8 months ago. Can you believe that? So the election was 8 months ago. But apparently, allegedly, we're still very much, the election is not over. So now, fast forward now to November, when the Supreme Court will give us a verdict, and then we know where we stand. Because these people are holding the country up, they're holding the country rather to hostage. This is what is going on. These people are holding that country to hostage. So BT indicate all right. So these people are so I take BT's voice and then we wrap it up. BT, what did you make of all that?
Good
Baba
morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good.
I,
yeah.
No, I couldn't come on the after hour show yesterday, and I had a lot of, I barely slept 3 hours and I'm going to work again. So, but I'm like just drinking coffee, just looking online. I'm like, what is one man doing? I'm like, I thought it was some kind of maybe premiere of a video like you do in the mornings. So I'm like, is this live? So I had to go look back in another channel, and here it is, Peter B World Press Conference. One man, quick question: does it feel like that didn't feel like that came from Peter B? It's like a compilation of obedient tweets.
You know the accent that I heard in that speech.
Right.
Should I tell you the accent I heard? I heard Aisha Yesufu's accent.
Exactly. It's like
she wrote that speech.
It's like reading obedient tweet online. It wasn't. That's not Peter Obi. I'm like, I don't know where it's going with this. And yesterday, jokingly, I was talking about starting this so-called rumor about his UNN records. I'm serious. I am going to champion that on your platform. I'm going to start doing that. Okay, because at this point, this is getting out of control. I don't know why he did this. You know what? I guess is just the backdrop of this the article story you brought up yesterday, the name change. So I think he thinks he wants to leverage it and say, well, see, Atiku and Tinubu are, they are forgers.
That's an interesting angle, actually. I hadn't even that makes sense,
because it's like it's this sainthood thing that he tries to paint himself as. Like, I'm different from those two. They changed their names, they had their questionable characters, but I am different. But nobody has yet to ask him on live TV why he chose to be a VP candidate. I mean, to run with the so-called questionable character in article. I mean, if I'm a man of integrity, I would not run with a man of questionable character, right? I will not do that if I'm truly a man of integrity. So he's double dipping. He's always double dipped, But on this one, I don't understand why he did this. But let me say, I don't like it, but I understand it. Let me put it this way: I don't like it because but I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I understand it, but
but why do you think he's doing what he's doing?
Well, like I told you, he's trying to create a separation between him and Atiku. They are both going.
Yeah, but to what end though? Because like one of the journalists asked him, his appeal to the Supreme Court, it doesn't even include any of Tinubu certificate narrative. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't include that. So what's the calculation for all of this to land him in Aso Rock? How does this play out in his favor?
I think the whole point is, I don't think he wants or he believes that there will be a scenario where, like a Hopkins or Dima scenario, where the Supreme Court will now declare him as a president. I think he's playing the long game for either a rerun or for the next election cycle. I think that is two.
Because
don't
the only narrative that puts Peter Obi in Aso Rock is a rerun. There
Right.
is nothing, there's no legal process that's going to land him without a secondary election in that seat.
Right.
And I'm not sure the country has an appetite for another election.
You know,
So I'm not quite sure what his play is.
not really one man. You can't say the majority with the way the economy is. So don't say that. I'm saying that in his own mind, we might think it's delusional, but I think he believes that if there's going to be a rerun, then Tinubu will. I mean, if INEC says, "Oh, Supreme Court says rerun," if that happens, then most likely Tinubu will not be on the ballot if everything plays out the way he wants, right? So he's trying to
but if Tinubu is not on the ballot, somebody still will be on that APC ballot. So he's going to run against Oshibanjo, which makes it even worse for him, because all of the narratives that got him his votes, those narratives no longer obtain. If he were, did you see what I mean? Or am I just talking?
So when the Supreme Court disqualifies somebody, is it the party or the individual?
Well, no, they can't strike out the party, can they? They can't. Yeah, it's the individual. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that is true, then I think I'm saying, I think in his own mind, he thinks, man, let me start creating this separation between me and Atiku. That way, if the scenario plays out the way I think it's going to play out, then I'm seen as the better candidate. So he's playing the long game. We might think it's delusional, but I think that's what he's thinking. But the press conference today, the utterances, even the way he responded to the questions was like me reading those obedient tweets. Like, tell us who he is. I want the name, the date, the primary school. Normally it doesn't speak that way. That's not him. I've never heard him. It doesn't speak that way. So
no, that was a speech written by
that was different from. But one man, I know it's a very juicy story. It will not go away, and it's good for the platform. So I'll probably check it in the evening session, and I'm going to listen for the most part. But I don't know. But okay, so what angle are you coming for at this in the evening session?
I'm coming at it from Tinubu is not my president. That's where I'm coming at it. That's what's going to be the head. Do you know why? It was referring to Tinubu.
Yes, he never called him. He called him Chief Tinubu.
He says Chief Tinubu. So that's where I'm coming at it from. Yeah.
Oh, so to him, we have an illegal president occupying.
Yes, that's why I said it's an Aisha Yesufu speech, because that's Tinubu is not my president speech.
But how do you think this ends? Because we are like 2 months to the end of the year.
I think it comes to an abrupt halt in November when the Supreme Court tells everybody to go home. Then everybody will just have to go home. So that's just it, isn't it? It's just the last hurrah, the last stand. That's the OK corral or something.
Like if what Tinubu to the end, then I think the guy just preparing for the next cycle. Though. Like I fought into the and we're gonna try again. But this time I think they are more prepared. I don't think if he runs again, I don't think he will get up to 2 million, because I think they will be better prepared for him this time, as opposed to just letting him lose like before. So I don't think Peter Obi is gonna win all the 5 states from the Southeast. They're gonna come after him with everything that they have. And well, if you can find a better candidate than Obi Dati or whatever, I think at this point it might get a better VP to run with him. But I don't think the ruling.
Oh, are you already surrendered to a rerun? Are you already looking at
No. I'm saying the next.
Oh, you mean in 2027?
Yeah.
Oh, in 2027, Obi is dead in the water.
Really?
No, because as soon as the Supreme Court comes in, they are going to decimate him.
So they're
going to. Why you're bossing it?
Yeah, I was listening to Ogbeni make his very passionate speech the last time. It went for like 7 or 8 minutes, and that was a very beautiful statement. And he said the only reason the Southwest has not really said anything about Obi because they are just waiting for that Supreme Court case to end. Then you will see they will come out in full force again.
You know, there a lot of heavy hitters on that. Dele Alake alone, he can. There are a lot of heavy hitters in the Tinubu Amario, media savvy, very sharp, very deep, very. You know, these people will decimate them. But they cannot do that now because the optics will not look right. Yeah.
Do you think that they have something on Obi that they've not put out yet? Do you think
I think there's a lot on Obi that they've not put out, but the fight is not a fight. I mean, look at what we know on Peter Obi, you know, and they know these things, but in more detailed depth. You know, they have his file now. EFCC has his file. Everybody has his file.
Right. Because, you know, Peter Obi said that he went to school with some people. Like he said, the current VC, that they came into the school together and they graduated at the same time. That's a lie because they spent 4 years. You spent 10 years. So somebody, you see what I'm saying? So if you spend, there's no way your VC spent 4 years in school and you are known on record to have spent more than 4 years before graduating.
There was another lie he told about his time at Christ the Apostolic Church, something, the secondary school that he went to in his home state. That I think he made a football lie that he was on the same football team with maybe it was Charles Oludo or somebody, but that person was in a different set from him. So that guy, maybe I will call it a lie. If you are being generous, you might want to call it embellishment, but it's somewhat truth averse, or he has a different spin on the truth. So there's a lot to unpack from Peter Obi.
Yeah,
but BT, did you say you're joining us tonight?
Well, it's gonna be a long day. So, but I will try. I will comment. I will listen first. I won't jump in the first session. Maybe halfway through. Just want to feel the temperature of the room first, see how people react to the story. Of course, I know they are going to be the obedience, that they're going to support him no matter what. But I love the, what's his name? The Ekene, sometimes it's very objective, he's very passionate about the obedience space. But, when you put facts in sometimes, he tends to listen. So I want to listen to people like Ekene. Not Passat, forget Passat. It's good. I know what he's going to say anyways. Passat is not good.
All right. You know what Passat is going to say. Why don't we just let him say it now?
You already know. Let him bless us with his presence.
You guys you're so funny. It's... Yeah, go ahead. One man, go ahead.
No. One man, let me call him out because you're here. Because he said he swims in the waters and they refer to your program as a swamp. And it comes from the oceans down to the swamp just to bless us with his presence. And here he is once again in the swamp from the ocean.
There he is. That's true. That's Passat for you, isn't he? Yeah, but
we have to deal with the world we have. We have to get all the way down to dirt to raise our country up. But anyway, that was a beautiful press conference. He answered a lot of questions, especially the ones that are posed here in other platforms as well, about what did he submit to INEC, for example. And he said, go and verify, right? It says he submitted it to his university level. He says that he's...
and there he is after all that. All right, BT, just a couple more words and then I'll wrap it up.
All right. Good take on this, one man. But... maybe towards the next year, maybe you can bring the morning drive back, just those 2-3 2-hour sessions, and, can have early takes on issues like this. But I don't see where this is going. And I look forward to the program in the evening and I'll chime into it. Thank you for having me. And let me have my coffee and I'll be on my way to work. Thank you.
All right, brilliant. So that's the excellent inimitable BT. So that's the inimitable BT on the inimitable one man went to more platform. So no need to have it. I'm not quite sure where I can take that metaphor, but what I'm saying is reconvene with us for tonight. Passat, I see you there, but I have to just get out and go run errands, and I don't really want you swimming in the swamp. So let me let me not allow you to muddy yourself with these murky waters of the swamp. So the swamp stops only for the swamp to reconvene for later on. So join us at the swamp, join us in the swamp, as we are now known. So I'll leave you here, carry conversation on within the comment section over here, I say. Peace.